Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Hello crafty friends, and thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my latest video. During this holiday season, I really want to create a few beautiful Christmas trees to decorate my home and also to give out as gifts. My goal is to mainly use supplies from my stash to decorate the paper mache cones that I have picked up at Hobby Lobby and thrift stores over the last year. This is the third video of this series, and I will have a playlist available along with links in the description box if you are interested in checking out the other videos. Today's video showcases a tutorial on how to create this gorgeous, elegant tree using beautiful appliques, lace, and bling. So stay tuned for the tutorial. So for today's third episode of decorating or creating with paper mache cones, I'm going to be using a few more supplies from my crafty stash. Again, I'm starting off with a paper mache cone. I've already painted it. I've chalk painted it in the color of plaster. It's from Waverly. And I also attached a base because this one was hollow. I did attach a base and painted that. I just did chipboard. I traced around the cone and glued it down with some hot glue. I also picked out from my stash, I have this really pretty lace. I'm not quite sure where I got it, but it has almost a shimmer to it. It's a really pale pink. So I'm going to use that on my base. And then I also picked out, I have all these gorgeous appliques, pink appliques with these little flowers. I did pick these up a while ago from KS for You or Craft Supplies for You. I believe she's .net. If I remember, I will try and link her store below in the description box. I'm not sure if she still sells these, but she probably has some other appliques in her store. And anyways, I bought quite a few of these, and so I do have 4 of them that I think will fit around here. I might piece them together a little bit. So my first step for today is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue the lace down. There will probably be a seam of some sort just because I'm going to have to trim it on the back, but if this has a front and a back, I don't think that's going to be too big of a deal, especially if I'm going to glue these on top. Hopefully the seam won't be too noticeable. And so I'm just going to glue this down, and I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this step, I think, and then I'll probably switch to hot glue for the appliques. And I don't think I want this very bottom part showing the edge of the lace. So I'm just going to lay this maybe kind of in the middle somewhere here and glue this down. I think I have enough to go all the way around if I'm careful. So let's go ahead and start gluing. And I'm just going to add a little dots of Fabri-Tac glue, and I'm just doing it on the solid parts of the lace. I don't know if that's going to show up very well on the camera. And I'm just going to kind of use this. And the cone that I'm using today is 12 inches long. This way, if anybody is wondering what size I'm using today. I know for this series I have quite a few different sizes. I'm just using up what I have in my stash. I know for the past year I've been picking them up, like when I've seen them at Hobby Lobby when they've had them for 75% off. I've also picked up a few at rummage sales. So I've just been using what I have in my stash. So I think I'm just going to start with this little bit that I've glued down and kind of see where I'm at. I think it'll still wrap around the base. If not, I'll just piece pieces together if I have to make it work. So I'm just going to start like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some more glue underneath here, and I'm going to continue to finish gluing around the cone. So now, as you can see, just because it is cone shaped, I am going to have to do some cutting of my lace, but I'm going to glue down a little bit more, and then I will just start kind of cutting it and trying to piece the edges together. So I'm going to finish, I think, I'm just seeing which side of lace I like better. And I might try and overlap it a little bit. I'm not quite sure here. I think I'll glue this down because this seems to have a little straighter edge. So as you guys can see, I'm getting close to finishing gluing it all up, and it's kind of a little bit of a hot mess, but I am going to overlap. Like you can see, here's the edging right here. I kind of trimmed off some of the lace, and here I'm just going to kind of glue up just a little bit past and just glue it down. And I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal because I am going to be gluing on top of this layer. And so I think it'll kind of hide, but I will overlap just slightly when I glue this last little bit down. So I will be overlapping this part of the lace just a little bit. I just wanted to pop on and show you guys that last little bit here as I'm gluing this down. Just kind of seeing where I need to glue here. Also, when I work on projects like this, I do have a scissors. It's my old Tim Holtz tonic scissors that has glue on it. You don't want to use your best scissors when you're cutting once you've started gluing things in case you get glue on it. These tonic scissors from Tim Holtz are some pretty good scissors. I've had them. I have this one, and then I have a newer one that I just use on projects where I don't have glue on them. So I'm almost finished gluing down this lace, and you can see I have a little bit of a hot mess going on, but not too bad. I can't cut very straight when it comes to laying fabric or lace down on my cones. If there's some sort of trick to that, you guys are going to have to leave that in the comments for me. But I'm just going to overlap. You can see I'm just going to overlap just a little bit. I think once I glue down the appliques, this isn't going to be, the seam isn't going to be very noticeable. So I'm going to just finish gluing this down and then glue off or cut off the lace that's at the bottom, and then I'm going to go ahead and start gluing the appliques down. So here's what I have so far. And I'm thinking on this one for the top, I might just wrap some beads around it just at the very tip, just to kind of finish it off. And I might add a row of beads around the bottom too, just so it has a kind of a nice clean edge. I think also like braid trim or some of that small floral trim, or even like a delicate lace. Here's the seam if you guys want to see what that looks like. It's not perfect, but like I said, I think I can hide it. It's not too noticeable when I look at it from a distance. So I think I'm happy with that. It looks really pretty. I like it kind of as a background or a base. And so now I have 4 of these to play with. And of course I want to try and cover up that seam. So maybe I'll start there with one of these bigger ones. And if I have to, I will cut these up or piece them together. Trying to decide if maybe I'll start off with one of these more up towards the top. And I might have to cut these a little bit closer because there is like tulle around it, and that'll be kind of tough to glue down, I think. So I think I'm gonna have to cut closer on these appliques. So I'm thinking maybe if I glue it something like that, and I might have to, it doesn't look like I need to take anything apart here, but I do have some trim, some bead trim. So I'm thinking maybe if I just wrap this around and glue it down around the top, or maybe some rhinestone chain. Maybe that would look nicer. I'll have to look at my stash and see what I have, but this doesn't look too bad because there is pearls in the middle of the flower, so it does match. And then if I use that at the bottom, I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and first thing I'm going to do, I think, for this one is I'm going to trim around because there's tulle on it. So I'm going to trim really close to the edge, first of all, of this applique. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and then I will be back. So I just finished cutting off a little bit of excess tulle that was on the outsides of the applique. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down the appliques. And then I also, while I was off camera, I dug through my stash, and I came up with this really pretty Aurora Borealis chain that I purchased a while ago from Angel Dreams Crafts Kim on Etsy, and I think this would be perfect to go with this. These appliques, I'm going to put, I think I have enough to go around the base once, and then I will have enough to maybe wrap a couple of times around the top. I think that's how I'm going to end this one. Or the other thing that I had purchased from Kim's shop was these pieces of bling, and they were in a pack of 2. And I think I could also maybe glue those at the top. I haven't quite decided yet. So we'll see when I'm done with all the appliques if that's what I choose to do. So again, I'm going to glue this one down, and I'm just kind of seeing how I want to glue it. I think I'm going to go like that. And again, for this one, I'm just going to use my hot glue. I don't think I have to do any cutting on this one. The rest that I put on, I will have to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start gluing this one down. I think this one's going to turn out really cute when I'm done. It's going to be really pretty. Another kind of one of those little simple but elegant looking trees. Seems to be going together pretty easily here. And again, I'm just kind of gluing small pieces or parts of the applique down at a time. So there's what I have so far. And just with that one applique, I almost covered most of it, so that's kind of cool. I'll probably still have an applique or 2 left when I'm done, maybe. I don't know here. So now I'm probably going to have to start piecing some together here. So I'm going to cut this one in half. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I like where that one's placed right now. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that one down. And on this one, I might just cut this little piece off and then I'll glue it back down just because I want it positioned slightly different. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this little piece down right here. Again, I'm just going to glue a little bit of it down at a time, just that way if I kind of screw up, I can kind of piece it back together if I need to. And again, this one looks like I need to just trim a little bit of it off, so I'm just going to trim that off. I think that'll look fine, so I'm going to go ahead and glue the rest of this down. Sorry if I keep on going in and out of camera. It just, sometimes these types of projects are hard to do on camera. So now I do have these other little pieces right here that I can add in if I want to somewhere. But I will wait until I get a couple more glued down, and then we'll see. I think that might look nice there, so So here's what I have so far, and I think this is really cute. I really like what it turned out. And I have a few scraps left. I ended up using one large applique and then two of the small ones, and I still have one left for another project, and then a couple of scraps in case I need it to go with that other applique. But I think this is really cute. I really like how this turned out. So the next step is, and I'm going to do this one off camera, but I am going to glue this edge down right here with this chain, and then I will be back after I've completed that. So I finished gluing down the rhinestone chain around the whole bottom of the tree, and I really like how that looks. I debated about wrapping some more around the top, but what I ended up doing is I ended up gluing just a small little pearl bead up at the top. And I'm just doing that just to add a little bit more stability, because I did find these wonderful little snowflake embellishments, rhinestone embellishments in my stash. And I got these from Kim at Angel Dreams Crafts Kim on Etsy. She usually has them in her store every year at Christmas time. And I usually pick up quite a few when she has them in her store. And then, so what I'm thinking is that this would look really cool. I'm gonna call this kind of my front because it has the most flowers on it. And I'm going to glue one on this side. I'm going to use E6000 and hot glue, and then I'm going to also glue one on the back side opposite it. So hopefully that makes sense. And I think I'm going to do that off camera because I'm going to have to hold it for a little bit. And I'll use a little bit of E6000 and also hot glue. Hopefully the hot glue will set it a little faster, and the E6000 will make it more permanent. And then also I did decide to go ahead and add a little base to my tree. And this is what I want to glue on there. And this is a candlestick holder. It was a wood one that I bought in the wood section at Hobby Lobby. I did chalk paint it. And then I took some more of that Aurora Borealis rhinestone chain, and I glued a little bit around the top and then a little bit around the base. And I think that's going to look really cool on the bottom of my tree. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all these, and I will be back with the finished tree. So I'm back after gluing on the base stand and the top, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like. It's been 24 hours. I did want the top to have 24 hours to really adhere. And again, I used a little bit of hot glue, but then I also used E6000, and I have to tell you, it does look gorgeous. You can see I also put one on the back side. And then again, here is the base that I created with a little candlestick that I put the rhinestone chain on it, and just show you guys the overall look. Again, I will of course film looking straight on because I know it's really hard to see the overall effect from this view, but I do have to tell you guys that I absolutely love how this one turned out. And again, this one was really quite simple, you know, with a little bit of lace on the base, and then cutting up a couple of appliques and just a little bit of extra rhinestone chain and a little bit of bling at the top, and then also adding a little candlestick at the bottom. This one was a really simple but elegant tree to create, so I do really love how this one turned out. Thank you again so much for watching today's episode. I hope I was able to give you a few ideas for decorating your very own Christmas tree cone this holiday season. I truly enjoyed creating this elegant but simple tree. I will be back tomorrow with another idea for decorating paper mache cones using supplies from my crafty stash. Until then, have a wonderful day and happy crafting.